Okay, this is the last sub-clause under ISO 14001. This is clause 10, continual improvements. Jangan anak saya. Ya. Adik-adik masuk dalam, bawa cawan. Okey? Okey. Terima kasih. This is how working at home, study at home, new norm. Right, we continue on the clause 10, continual improvements. Under these clauses, they have 3 sub-clauses. Gender requirements, 10.1, 10.2, non-conformity and corrective actions, 10.3, continual improvement. Okay, let's go to general requirement 10.1. What's the requirement here? It stated that the organization shall determine opportunity for improvement. So it's a must actually. You need to identify which area, which activity, product or services that you can improve, especially related with the environments. And you must also implement necessary actions to achieve the intended outcome, okay, of its environmental management system. So these are the requirements. If you remember, what's the intended outcome? Can you recall? What's the ISO for 2001 intended outcome? Can you recall what's the intended outcome of ISO 14001? It's actually we already discussed it at the beginning. Yeah, the early lecture before we start on the class 4. Can you recall the main purpose of ISO 14001? That's why they call intended outcome.
Enhancement of environmental performance.
Yes, enhancement of environmental performance. So the idea is to protect or to minimize any impact to the environment. That's why they call enhancement. Environmental performance. Okay, when you can improve your environmental performance, so you can eliminate or reduce or minimize impact to the environment. Right. Second.
Fulfillment of compliance obligation.
Yes, fulfillment compliant obligations. You must follow any regulations, any guideline whatsoever. You must. That's your commitment. When you want to implement that one, you must follow all the regulations, right? Either international or national. Okay, the last part.
Achievement of environmental objective.
Yes, and the outcome of your environmental objective you must able to achieve. Okay, all right. So that is the general requirement. So under the subclause 10.2, non-conformity and corrective action. When a non-conformity occur, the organization shall. Okay, what's the non-conformity by the way? What's non-conformity? What is non-conformity? Any answer? Guys? What is non-conformity?
Failure or refusal. Macam rejection. Is
Injection?
Failure or refusal.
Injection? That's why you need to understand what is the non-conformity.
Non-fulfillment of a requirement.
What is it?
Non-fulfillment of a requirement.
Okay, not fulfill the requirement under ISO 14001. Alright, if you don't fulfill, mean you don't follow, they call the word is conform, conform of ISO 14001. If you don't conform, it's called has non-conformity. And this non-conformity have major and minor. Okay, they have major and minor. Okay, so can you guess or give example? Major non-conformity. Major non-conformity. You don't follow the ISO 14001. It's a major. Can you give one example? Major requirement. Major non-compliant. Anyone? Ini soalan saya selalu tanya ni dalam test. By giving example or differentiate major and minor non-conformity. Yes.
A breakdown of a system.
A breakdown of the system. What system?
Sistem yang ikut ISO tu.
Be specified. Sistem apa? Sistem apa? Sistem apa? Non-conformity. Major. Breakdown system. Sistem apa yang breakdown?
Environmental management system.
How this ISO 14001 can break down? Give an example. Contoh macam mana sistem ISO 14001 tu boleh breakdown.
Fail to implement the key requirement of the standard.
Pardon again?
Fail to implement the key requirement of the standard.
Fail to implement
Key
of what?
requirement of the standard.
Key requirement. What's the key requirement? What's the key requirement? Can you give example key requirement? Ini saya beri contoh, anda beri contoh. Contoh dalam contoh. What is major? What can you give example major non-conformity? Or simple word, what is major non-conformity? For you to easy to understand, you need give an example so that you can know. Okay, this is major, this is minor. So my question is, what is an example of major non-conformity?
Not implementing a procedure.
Procedure of what?
Procedure of any company.
Siapa yang tadi yang sebut kriteria tadi? Siapa yang sebut tadi?
Saya, sir.
Siti Aisyah. Jawapan kamu hampir tepat tapi tidak tepat lagi. Kena beri contoh. Ramai ni dalam ni. Takkan tak boleh jawab. Nanti kalau tak jawab, kamu tak faham sebenarnya. Yang ini yang menghadapi kesukaran. Nanti bila ujian akhir, ujian akhir kita akan banyak tanya tentang klausa ni, klausa 4 hingga 10 ni. Test 1 tak banyak. Jadi soalannya agak mudah. Jadi bila masuk final test nanti dia akan banyak. Dan soalan yang saya tanya ni pun dah cukup mencabar dah. Jadi kalau anda tak faham, sukarlah sebenarnya untuk menjawab dalam ujian. So sebelum saya tanya dalam ujian, baik saya tanya sekarang. Apakah contoh non-conformity, major non-conformity? Dia non-conformity tu apa? Lepas tu dia ada major, dia ada minor.
No documented procedure for a required process or activity.
Apa dia, Amir?
No documented procedure for a required process or activity.
Okay, there's no documented information. Okay, itu major ke minor?
Major.
Kamu buat benda tu tapi kamu tak boleh nak tunjuk bukti. Is it major or minor?
Minor? Major?
It can become major, it can become minor. Depend on the requirement, depend on the klausa. Okay, major ni, saya kena cakap bahasa Jawa lah supaya kamu semua faham. Major ini adalah anda tidak memenuhi keperluan utama dalam klausa ISO 14001. Kita belajar tadi klausa 9. Apa klausa 9? Sebutkan salah satu yang anda baru belajar tadi. Apa itu klausa 9?
Evaluation.
Okey, buat penilaian dengan apa? Pencapaian dan penilaian performance and evaluation.
Monitoring, measurement, analysis and evaluation.
Okey. Kalau anda tak buat monitoring, measurement tadi, is it major or minor? Tidak menilai performance. It's a major because it's a requirement under clause 9. You must measure, monitor, evaluate your environmental performance. So that is a major under clause 9. Kalau tak buat, mana is become major non-conformity. Okay. How about minor? Contoh minor. Contoh minor. Berkaitan dengan clause 9. Contoh clause 9. Untuk monitor, untuk buat measurement perlukan apa? Perlukan alat. Apa requirement dalam clause 9 bila gunakan alat?
Maintenance requirement are not performed.
Okay, yes. Alat itu mesti di-calibrate ataupun telah di-verified. Mungkin kamu buat maintenance tapi tahun lepas, tahun ni tak buat. Maknanya tidak up to date lah. So that become minor. Alat anda pakai itu diragui. Mungkin data yang kamu dapat performa outcome itu tidak tepat, tidak betul. Sebab alat itu tidak di-calibrate pada tahun ini, tahun semasa, tahun terkini. Pernah tak kamu ada pengalaman menimbang berat badan, dekat rumah kamu beratnya lain, pergi kat rumah kawan berat badannya lain.
Benar.
Ataupun pergi dekat mall beratnya lain. Makin berat pula aku pergi kat mall. Pergi kat rumah okey je. Sebab apa? Instrumen itu tak valid. Sebab tidak ada validate pengesahan sama ada alat itu tepat ataupun tidak. Itu contoh. So, validation of instruments yang dah expired mungkin become minor. Itu contoh minor non-conformity. Okey, maknanya satu ketidakpatuhan yang kecil sebab sepatutnya arahannya alat itu mesti dikalibrasi supaya bacaan itu tepat dan sah. Precise and valid. Tepat dan sah. Okey, kalau tidak jadi macam alat timbang kamu lah. Pergi kat bilik mak ayah, timbangnya bacanya 10. Pergi kat sini bacanya 11. So, mana satu bacaan yang tepat? Bila kita nak buat tentang pengukuran on-round performance, kita mestilah bacaannya tepat dan sah. Sah tu maksudnya alat itu telah mengikut standard. Maknanya kalau kita letak dipanggil apa ni, penimbang piawaian yang kita tahu dia 1 kg, kita letak kat alat timbang tu dia akan baca 1 kg. Dia tak akan baca 1.5 kg. Maknanya ada error lah dekat alat penimbang itu. Sedangkan standard piawaian barang tu dah memang 1 kg. Kita letak di sepatutnya bacaannya 1 kg. So now I hope you can understand to differentiate between major non-compliant or major non-conformity and minor non-conformity. Jelas?
Jelas.
Siti Aisyah, jelas tak?
Jelas.
So, right. So if there has any non-conformity happen, either major or minor, so the first thing you need to do is to react to the non-conformity and as applicable, okay, first to action to control and correct. Cepat-cepat buat pembetulan. Okay? Right? For example, you have leakage, kebocoran. So, of course, this is emergency. And this is also part of non-conformity. Because the intended outcome of your isophotoson to enhance your environmental performance. Untuk tambah baik, bukan jadi lagi buruk. That's why this become non-conformity. So, what happen? You need to take action to control and correct it. Macam tadi, kalau kata alat itu tidak calibrate, segera hantar untuk buat kalibrasi. Okay? And then second, deal with the consequence, including the mitigation adverse environmental impact. So, any non-conformity, they have the consequence. Dia ada kesan dia. So, you need to deal this consequence, especially if they have adverse environmental impact. Macam tadi berlaku kebocoran, akan berlaku pencemaran di tanah. Alright. So you need to treat the soil, for example. That's the consequence. Okay. Evaluate the need action for eliminate the cause of non-conformity in order that it does not occur or occurred as well. So you need to evaluate to eliminate non-conformity. Kenapa alat itu tidak dikalibrate, for example. Kecuaian pekerja, for example. Tidak ada dalam jadual. There's no labeling. Dekat alat itu menyatakan tarikh tempoh tamat macam kita punya renew cukai jalan. Kat situ ada tarikh tamat kita tahu. So alat tu pun kita tahu, okey. Nak ni kena maintain dia sekian-sekian tarikh. So kita kena hantar, for example. Okay, you need to evaluate. Okay. By reviewing the non-conformity, determine the cause of non-conformity, determine if similar non-conformity exist or could be potential occur. Bila ada satu alat kita tengok dia tak calibrate, kita check alat-alat yang lain juga. Supaya perkara ini tidak berulang. Dan kita kena pasti punca dia. Kenapa alat ini tidak di-calibrate mengikut tempoh masa? Itu contoh perkara dua yang kena dilakukan untuk mengelakkan non-conformity dan untuk melakukan pembetulan corrective action. The third the organization shall do is to implement any action needed, revise the activeness of any correction action taken, then make changes to environmental management system if necessary. This is about the non-conformity. Okay. 5 steps that you need to take actions if they have the non-conformity, either major or minor. Alright. Next is 10.2 is about the corrective action. Okay. Corrective action shall be appropriate to the significance of the effect of non-conformity encountered, including the environmental impact. So you immediately need to do the corrective action. And this process, the organization shall retain documented information as evidence of the nature of non-conformity and any subsequent action taken, and also the result of any corrective action. Ini contoh tadilah yang tadi kata tidak ada evidence. It could become a minor non-conformity. It could become a major non-conformity. Maksudnya kalau ada corrective action tapi anda tidak ada dokumen. Seperti mana saya tunjuk tadi under clause 9. Ini ada contoh corrective action request. Itu contoh itu daripada audit. Dia minta anda buat non-conformity correction. Bila dia buat audit, dia nampak ada anda ketidakpatuhan. Oh, anda tak memenuhi keperluan ini. So, kita buat pembetulan. Okay. So, you need to do the corrective action. So, mungkin ada semua corrective action tapi ada satu lagi yang tidak ada. Kalau tak ada satu, become minor. Tapi kalau semua tak ada, it become major. So, depend on how auditor looking of. Dia bergantung bagaimana kita melihat. Dia akan semak. Nanti kita akan belajar dalam ISO 19011, 19,011. Guideline for auditing. Alright. So the last part, 10.3, continual improvement. The organization shall, continually improve, to ensure the suitability, the adequacy and the effectiveness of ISO 14001. And also you can achieve the intended outcome, which is to enhance the environmental performance. Okay, so again, I already asked you, try looking the meaning of suitability, adequacy, and the effectiveness. This is already mentioned under clause 9. The internal audit. Why we conduct internal audit? Okay. So this is the requirement under clause 10.3. So the idea of the ISO 1 is to have continual improvement about your system. Okay, so we finish all the classes, class 4 until class 10. Okay, that is the thing that you need to follow if you want to claim that you are implementing ISO 14001 international standard.